Okay, so you've heard the word inflation a million times, right? In econ class, on the news, it's everywhere. But what if you could actually figure it out for yourself? Today, we're going to skip the heavy textbook stuff and just have a quick study session to give you a financial skill you can actually use. So, let's be real for a second. You know inflation means your money buys less and prices are going up. But if I handed you a price from last year and a price from today, could you tell me the exact inflation rate? Well, that's what we're here to go from just knowing the word to actually doing the math. And to do that, we only really need one thing. It's the core formula for inflation. Now, I know the word formula can sound a little intimidating, but trust me, once you see it, you'll realize it's pretty straightforward. And there it is. This little equation is the key to everything today. Basically, all we're doing is finding the change in price, comparing that change back to the original price, and then just turning it into a simple percentage. Let's get this thing down.
You know, theory is one thing, but the best way to really get this stuff is to see it in action. So let's do our first practice problem with something we can all relate to, the price of a good old burger.
Okay, so here's our scenario. Last year, this burger cost 100 rupees. This year, it's 120. That's it. We have our old price and our new price. Now, all we have to do is plug these numbers into that formula we just saw. It really just breaks down into 3 easy steps. First, we find the difference. So 120 minus 100, that's 20. Simple enough. Next, we divide that number by the original price. So 20 divided by 100 is 0.2. And finally, we just turn that decimal into a percentage by multiplying by 100. So 0.2 times 100 gives us 20%. And that's it. You've done it. The price of that burger went up by 20% in just 1 year. You just calculated your very first inflation rate. See? Not so bad. All right, you've seen how it's done. Now it's your turn. We're going to use the exact same steps, just for a different item. This is how you really make sure the concept sticks. So let's take a look at movie tickets. Okay, here's the new problem. A movie ticket used to be 200 rupees, and now it's 220. If you want, you can even pause right here and try to run the numbers yourself. Remember, the process is exactly the same. So how did you do? Let's check the work real quick. 220 minus 200 is 20. Then you take that 20 and divide it by the old price of 200, which gives you 0.1. Multiply by 100, and you get 10%. The inflation rate is 10%. It's the same simple process every single time.
Okay, so we've got the how down, you can do the calculation, but now for the big question, the one we all ask in class. Why do I actually need to know this? Let's connect the math to the real world.
See, here's the thing. This isn't just an abstract math problem. It's a legit life skill. Knowing how to do this means you can truly understand the price hikes you see every day. It lets you accurately compare how much things cost now versus a few years ago. And all of that helps you make way smarter decisions with your own money. I really like this way of thinking about it. Once you master this formula, it's kind of like you've installed a money calculator directly into your brain. You just start to see prices and savings in a completely different way. So, now that you've got the basics down, let's level up with a pro tip. This is a slightly more advanced idea, but it's absolutely essential if you're ever thinking about saving or investing your money for the long term. This right here is so incredibly important. Think about it. If your savings account pays you 2% interest for the year, but inflation is running at 4%, you're actually losing buying power. Your money can buy less than it could a year ago. That's the real reason we track inflation. It's about the true value of your money.
All right, let's do a quick final review before we wrap up. Think of this as your personal cheat sheet, the summary section of your notes you'd glance at before a big test.
So let's lock this in one last time. It all comes down to 3 steps. 1, subtract to find the difference. 2, divide by the original, old price. And 3, multiply by 100. That's the entire playbook. That's how you do it. You know, in just the last few minutes, a really big shift has happened. You're no longer just a passive person who hears about inflation on TV. You are now someone who has the tools and the know-how to actually calculate it for yourself. That's a huge deal. And I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. Now that you have this skill, this money calculator in your brain, how does it change the way you look at prices, or your savings, or even your future salary? It's a powerful new lens to see your financial world